Thank you, Mr. Chair. Want to speak today in strong support of my common sense bipartisan bill that will help address a longstanding issue in Colorado and many other Western states that continues to drive up costs for families. The Fire Improvement and Reforming Exceptional Events Act, or FIRE Act for short, ensures that states are not punished for smoke and emissions that they cannot control while still maintaining strong environmental protections. For years, my area, the Front Range of Colorado, has consistently struggled to meet ozone attainment levels set by the Federal Clean Air Act, despite the fact that the bulk of emissions originate from sources outside of the state's control. This includes sources like wildfires, Chinese pollution, and naturally occurring atmospheric events. The resulting red tape around air quality permitting and the regulations that states like Colorado slap onto industry, the economy, and consumers are a leading cause of the affordability crisis that working families in my district are facing. When the economy is strangled under the weight of costly, poorly designed ozone attainment standards, jobs are lost, prices spike, and financial stress increases negative health outcomes. Trust me, I have a kid with asthma. I understand the struggles that many parents and many folks with asthma have. I want clean air as much as anyone. But when families and jobs are penalized for emissions outside of their control, that leads to unemployment, that leads to higher costs, and that does not promote healthy living. It instead promotes poverty, and poverty also leads to negative health outcomes. The clearest example of the economic strain that the current system is putting on my constituents is a reformulated gasoline mandate that Colorado has imposed. In the summertime, commuters across the state are forced to buy reformulated gas that's typically 40 cents more expensive per gallon, despite the fact that this so-called mitigation effort produces negligible results, less than 1 part per billion, in actually reducing ozone levels. But don't take my word for it. The Democrat-appointed chair of the Denver Regional Air Quality Council admitted that we could, quote, ban oil and gas in Colorado and still not meet summertime ozone standards, end quote. Why? Well, I've got all of the slides right here. Not my slides. These are slides from the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, which shows that in Colorado, only 29% of the ozone and the air pollution along the Colorado Front Range is human-caused. The other 71% of the air pollution is things like naturally occurring, it's things like fire, and it's things that are outside the control of the state of Colorado, which in this slide are represented as the boundary initial conditions. We need to follow the science, and in this case, the science from entities like the Democrat-controlled Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment show that 2/3 of the air quality in Colorado is not under the control of the state of Colorado. And that's why the legislation this subcommittee is considering today is so important, and why my bill, the FIRE Act, has garnered bipartisan support. It's a common sense solution. It simply clarifies how emissions from wildfires, prescribed burns, and other exceptional events are treated in federal air quality reviews. It maintains the environmental protections that benefit Americans while allowing states the flexibility to comply with the Clean Air Act without punishing American jobs for international wildfire smoke, naturally occurring exceptional events, and other things that fall in those categories. I'm proud to be leading this bill with Congressman Gabe from California, whose district and state face similar challenges to mine when it comes to ozone non-attainment and wildfires, and I'm grateful to my colleagues on this committee who are championing their own legislation, vital to modernizing the Clean Air Act. I look forward to supporting the FIRE Act and these bills that we're hearing today through the legislative process, and I urge my colleagues to join me in advancing them through markup today, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Is there further discussion?